propagate, innuate, illuminate, shine on me like a queen. Well, I be how high I'll go for you to harvest a billion, billion, na 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 na, billion, na 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 na, harvest a billion. The fruit of his love is tender.
Welcome to Farmer Odrek Talks Trade here in beautiful Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. I am your host, Odrek Rwabugo, entrepreneur, author, advisor, teacher, and most of all, farmer. So I was born on a farm, raised on a farm, and planted beans and maize and tended cattle and went through some of the driest seasons in terms of production, lost animals, lost crops to drought, and suffered tick infestation, used different forms of acaricide that didn't work. And I'm a first-generation entrepreneur. When I was able to go to school, because my siblings, some of them were removed from school, so I could be in school. And when I finished university, I decided that when I start my own family, I would take my children and my wife back to the farm to make an impact from the grassroots level, from where things started. And so we began the process of collecting and chilling milk from 2,000 farmers around this 40-acre farm that my father left me with traditional cows and had to change the breed in order to increase milk production, planted sorghum and maize and mixed them with certain other ingredients so that I can get a better production. And when we collected this milk and chilled it, the price was low and it couldn't sustain us. And we made a decision that we would find a strategic partner to invest in value addition. So in 2014, we began a dairy processing plant that produces 50,000 liters a day, makes yogurt. And the local market was not enough, couldn't give us the best price. And we tried to explore the markets of South Sudan, markets of Congo for better pricing. And we just simply couldn't make it in those markets because of trade barriers that stood in the way, because of lack of capital, because of language and culture differences on how you sell in these markets, and our business went down. So the things that I share with you, I have experienced them on a personal level, on a family level. And so the lived experience that I bring to you is to find a way to increase productivity, to get information and knowledge on what should be done to transform our farms and increase our incomes. On today's show, we welcome Ebo Kidu, who grows wonderful mushrooms only 5 kilometers out of Kampala's central business district. And then we visit a remarkable coffee farm where they have learned the power of value addition. We'll also hear some news features on agriculture in Uganda and then take some questions from you, our listeners. Now, we are delighted to welcome a special person to the show, a mushroompreneur, an agripreneur, a great guy dealing in delicious and nutritious product. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to this radio show. Could you introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Abel Chidu. I'm the Managing Director of African Mushroom Growers, Uganda Limited. Here at African Mushroom Growers, which is located at least 5 kilometers out of the central business district, we grow mushrooms and add value to them. We are also working with a network of outgrowers. We have especially youth, women we work with. We also provide and look for markets for mushrooms. We do a lot of training, and currently we are working with the Private Sector Foundation, where we are supposed to create over 3,000 meaningful work opportunities for the youth under the Lead Farm Structure program.
When did you start the company?
We started it in 2010, and it was incorporated in 2012.
Thank you. Where do you sell your products?
We sell most of our products locally and regionally. For example, we sell to the local supermarkets, to the local fresh produce markets, as well as restaurants, hotels, and individuals. But we also export to Kenya and DRC.
Good. Have you received any motivation or assistance from the government to enhance your venture?
Yes, we have benefited from PSFU and the MasterCard Foundation program of the Young Africa Works and Enhancing Lead Farm Structure, where we are the lead farm in the mushroom value chain. And by doing that, we are working with other farmers around to see that we can improve this sector and create employment for mainly the youth.
Okay, so what kind of support do you get from PSFU?
PSFU normally supports us with activities such as trainings, reaching out to the youth, looking for the markets for the mushrooms. Yes, such kind of things. PSFU has really helped us and it is slowly improving or boosting the mushroom sector.
Okay, so how else would you want the government to help you?
This, it's a very unique enterprise. The government should consider mushroom growing as a very key sector, and in a way, maybe by giving us experts. Currently, if you go to the National Agriculture Research Organization, there are actually no expert on mushroom growing. There's no way we can consult with mushroom growing. I've just spoken to you. I'll be in the Netherlands next week. I'm sponsoring myself to go there just to study, to look for more knowledge in mushroom growing, to get exposure in this sector, and then come back and also train other farmers and see how we can improve them. But the government should also come in a way of maybe supporting in post-harvest handling, like storage facilities. This is a perishable item. We really need cold room facilities, especially if we are many farmers. The market is such a way that you may harvest today, but get the market after several days. Like if it's Monday, you get the harvest, you have to store it, keep it fresh in a cold room facilities, and then maybe sell it after 2, 3 days. But if you don't have cold room facilities, you get losses.
Good. So what's so special about mushrooms? Like nutrients and what is in there?
What's special about mushrooms? This is one of the, if I may say, crops which don't require a lot of space to grow, and it has a short maturity time. Within a month, you are already harvesting. So it can easily attract the youth who want quick cash. But it is also nutritious. Actually, it is advisable that somebody should take mushrooms on a daily basis. Mushrooms are anti-cancer. They boost the human immunity, but have all necessary proteins and minerals which can be found in meat. And so mushrooms are really good, nice, and somebody should eat them every day.
How is the demand?
The demand for mushrooms is currently more than the supply. Yeah, we have discovered that the middle class has grown. And these are the people who frequently visit the upscale hotels where mushrooms and mushroom soup are sold. These mushrooms are needed here in Uganda and all over the region. 2 years ago, we traveled with PASAID and PSFU to DRC. That was in Goma and Kinshasa. So we found that the prices of mushrooms were very good and the demand is really huge. And considering that Uganda Airlines, which goes there 5 times a week, we saw the opportunity and started sending there our mushrooms. So the demand is still very high.
Do you have any plans of exporting to the US, Europe, or there are some hindrances?
Yes, we have plans of exporting our products anywhere in the world, and in the US is one of the major markets which consume mushrooms. Right now, what we are doing is to improve our quality such that we can meet the US and the European market standards. Our products have already been certified by the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, and we are working on improving our grow houses. We are also working on improving our production processes such that they can meet the European and the US standards. Once we are done, there is no reason our product shouldn't be on the European markets. We are also studying what the US standards are. The global mushroom market is about $52 billion and it is still growing. It is actually rapidly growing. Now, if we are to tap into those opportunities, we need to invest in modern growing technologies. Mushroom is one of the most technologically advanced industries. We need to always keep abreast with new technologies, investing in modern harvesting system, investing in modern laboratory for making the spawns or the seeds, So the major hindrances in tapping on that market is capital. Banks in Uganda and in Africa are reluctant to lend to mushroom growers. Maybe they are not well educated about the opportunities in it. But if we can have government and other players join the industry, this is one of the sectors which can change people's income.
Good. So, do you have any other messages to the people out there?
Well, people should consider growing mushrooms, but also eating them. Yes, I call upon fellow youth to come and join this sector because it's one of the best agricultural ventures which can elevate them out of poverty. It is easy to grow, it doesn't need a lot of space, and matures very fast. I call upon women to join me because this is a very high value crop.
Thank you, Ebo. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Now, here at this week's Agriculture News Features brought to you by Jen Amonge.
Thank you, Odrek. In today's episode, we have news features on Uganda exporting its first beef to Saudi Arabia, Uganda coffee triumphing at Paris competency, and turning agricultural waste into biofuel. Uganda's agriculture sector has been given a boost as the country exports the first beef to Saudi Arabia. Uganda has again marked a major boost in its agriculture export history after the country sold its first beef to Saudi Arabia. Ugandan farmers believe this is going to bring markets for them, which the country needs to grow economically and to earn foreign exchange. The livestock subsector is one of the most important subsectors in the Ugandan agriculture sector, contributing about 17% of the agriculture value added and 4.3% of the country's GDP. The most important one is cattle because over 80% of the rural-based families are involved in livestock farming. The Ugandan government has implemented policies to develop the means of transport, hence transport of the animals and the beef products. Further, the development of modern and efficient meat processing and abattoir plants and plants that meet export markets are being made. To check FMD that affects beef production and export, measures are also being taken. This development is forecasted to enhance competency of Uganda's beef export and also inviting more investors on the segment. Huge development for thousands of farmers and processors will mean employment opportunities have been generated. In addition, Uganda's growth in the economy and foreign exchange earnings will substantially increase. The exportation of Ugandan goods to the Saudi Arabian market is the first time for most of the mentioned agricultural products. If government support coupled with investment is maintained, then the country has the potential to export more beef, targeting many countries more frequently to the benefit of all farmers, processors, and the economy of Uganda. Ugandan coffee triumphs in a Paris competency. Uganda's coffee has impressed contestants at the international level at the Paris Coffee Competition, putting Uganda amongst the best coffee producers in the world. The competition involved over 40 countries, and Ugandan coffee produced among the best-ranked coffees globally. The good performances Uganda recorded were due to quality Arabica and Robusta produced in Uganda fertile areas. The competition judges say that all Ugandan coffee had a unique cupping profile having colors of chocolate, caramel, and fruit. This recognition is forecasted to increase Uganda's coffee export, especially to the European markets. The Paris Coffee Competition is an annual competition that takes place in Paris, where coffee producers, roasters, and other industry players celebrate coffee. This accomplishment puts Uganda on a right path towards fulfilling its bid to produce some of the best brand of coffee which is to be sold in the international market. It is expected that this win will boost Uganda's coffee sector and open doors for the producers, millers, and exporters. This is on the backs of Uganda's coffee brand that was previously holder of the world's number 3 position, and it will attract more buyers and foreign exchange. The amelioration and development of Ugandan coffee industry can be assured with the progressive performance of Uganda in the international coffee market. Ugandan women turn agricultural waste into biofuel to save trees. Every morning, Shiba Kwagala and her colleague head to a sanctuary in the Ugandan capital of Kampala to mash agricultural waste, mainly banana peels and crop residues, with molasses and clay to make briquettes. These briquettes are more energy efficient than wood or charcoal commonly used in Uganda, and they are also a renewable energy source. They crush agricultural waste, then mix it with clay and molasses to solidify it. They then put the mixture into a machine that forms the briquette. Learning how to make briquettes is easy, and Kwagala is sharing the skills with other women, hence her contribution to sustainable energy practices in Uganda. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, biomass is the main source of energy in Uganda, accounting for 94% of all energy produced. Of the total biomass consumed, wood fuel accounts for about 80%, charcoal 10%, and crop residues 4%. 9 out of 10 households use either firewood or charcoal for cooking. As per reports, World Bank says that using biomass briquettes can result in significant energy cost savings compared to non-renewable fuels, making them an economically advantageous choice. And these are today's news features.
Thank you very much, Jen, for the news features. Today, we are visiting a remarkable coffee farm in Rama village, Kabarama Parish, Bugamba Sub-County, in Rwampara district. We're here with Akabwai Tumkunde Brian, a dedicated coffee farmer. Good afternoon, Akabwai. Could you tell the listeners when you started your coffee business?
I began serious coffee farming in 2017 after joining the university. I started small with 1 acre and have since expanded now 20 hectares.
And where do you sell your coffee products?
I sell my processed coffee to the middlemen. I process the coffee at the government-established processing plant managed by the private circle called Lubingo Farmers Circle, of which I am a member. The value addition we gain from processing helps us a lot. The president is so right on the importance of value addition.
And this Rubingo has how many people, and have you received any government support to enhance these operations?
I received seedlings from the sub-county leaders when I started the farm. This helped me start at minimal costs, which has since expanded the farm. And of course, not forgetting the government-established processing plant that is managed by the circle.
Okay, so how else do you want government to help you with the rest of the coffee farmers in your circle?
Our main challenge is the increasing coffee wilt disease, which has destroyed many acres. Previously, many farmers had abandoned coffee growing for banana growing as they had lost their coffee gardens to the disease. The matoke did not pick business as the demand was low and more perishable than coffee. To stop this from happening, the government needs to intervene and provide solutions to restore our farmland. Additionally, we ask the government to extend water systems so that we can irrigate during the dry season.
What are some of the benefits of coffee growing and consumption?
With the money from selling coffee, I've been able to attend university and pay school fees for my siblings. Not only for me, but the majority of the youth in the district have been able to go to school due to the proceeds from coffee. Coffee farming also employs me and other 2 men who work at my farm.
And how is the demand for coffee currently?
Coffee is the highest demanded product in our area, with the price of 1 kilogram reaching 3,000 Uganda shillings at the farm gate price.
Good. And what's the message you give to listeners who want to join coffee farming?
I encourage people to invest in coffee farming because it's very profitable. The jobs we are hunting from offices are so limited, yet coffee farming can absorb almost all of us.
Well, good afternoon. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Good afternoon. My name is Tungura Ismail, and I am a worker on this coffee farm.
How long have you been working on the coffee farm?
I have been working on this coffee farm for 2 years now, and I am happy with my work.
If you could just take the listeners through your daily tasks at this farm.
Okay, my duties include weeding, pruning, and constantly monitoring the farm to ensure it is well maintained. I am also in charge of harvesting and drying the coffee, among other roles.
And what are some of the benefits of working on the coffee farm?
I receive a monthly wage that supports my family, and since coffee farming is not very demanding, I have some free time to attend to my own coffee trees. I have gained some insightful knowledge that I transferred to my own coffee farm.
Good. And what are the hopes and aspirations for the future of coffee farming in Uganda?
The future looks promising for coffee farmers and everyone involved in the coffee industry. The demand for coffee continues to outpace its supply, meaning that if the youth embrace this industry, they can benefit significantly. This will contribute to job creation and wealth generation, aligning with the president's vision for the masses. Uganda has the potential to become a leading player in the global coffee market.
Hello, Mr. Odrek. My name is Namkasa Freda from Bukomansimbi district. Recently, I lost several high-yielding cows due to the foot and mouth disease. The disease has affected many farms in my district. What measures has the government implemented to prevent the spread of the disease to other farms in the country?
Frida, the government is actively working to procure vaccines to immunize cattle against foot and mouth disease, which has severely impacted the cattle corridor in Uganda. The National Research Organization is also making significant progress in developing vaccines domestically. Additionally, the government has implemented several measures to control the spread of FMD. Quarantine zones have been established and movement restrictions for livestock have been enforced. Continuous surveillance and monitoring of livestock are being conducted to quickly identify and manage new outbreaks. Farmers are also being educated on biosecurity measures to prevent the introduction and spread of FMD on their farms. Enhanced systems for reporting and responding to FMD cases have been put in place to ensure rapid and coordinated responses. These measures, alongside the development and distribution of vaccines, aim to control and eventually eradicate foot and mouth disease in Uganda.
Hello, this is Odong Samuel, a farmer from Omoro, currently involved in cultivating soybeans and millet. I am interested in expanding into coffee farming. However, I'm uncertain about its viability in northern Uganda.
Absolutely, you should consider venturing into coffee farming. There are agriculture extension workers whom you can consult in your area to assist you in establishing your coffee farm. They can provide guidance on selecting the appropriate coffee varieties based on the area's climatic conditions, and this service is provided free of charge. Additionally, I recommend conducting soil tests to determine the suitable fertilizers for enhancing your coffee yields. Both the National Agricultural Research Organization, NARO, and Makerere University have departments that conduct these soil tests. Furthermore, the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, UCDA, is set to construct a regional coffee lab. This laboratory will serve as the regional coffee analytical and testing certification facility for all the coffee farmers in northern Uganda, and it will benefit the entire region.
Hello, I am Ochelo Richard and I live in Abim district. My farm grows maize, millet, and simsim, but drought has caused us difficulty. Can you advise me on this situation?
Facing drought can be devastating for farmers, but mulching offers a sustainable solution. Of course, by layering organic materials like straw, like leaves or compost over the soil, mulching helps retain moisture, it suppresses weeds, and it regulates soil temperatures. This practice reduces water loss through evaporation, allowing plants to access water more efficiently during dry spells. Additionally, mulch enriches the soil as it decomposes. It enhances its ability to retain moisture in the long term. For farmers battling drought, mulching can be a valuable ally in maintaining crop productivity and resilience. Technology is also helping us deal with droughts. Long-term weather forecasting is improving dramatically, which enables us to better predict and mitigate drought. Also, solar-powered water pumps and irrigation systems are now available, which can help greatly. There is a government program that gives farmers access to these. I encourage the farmers in Abim, like you, Ochero Richard, to contact the head of crop division at the Ministry of Agriculture at Entebbe, and if you can't, the permanent secretary. These people run the programs and the budgets for solar pumps, for irrigation facilities, and for tractors. and they give you access to institutions in the Ministry of Agriculture that give you the best seeds for the kind of region you are in.
Hello, I am Kaisara and I have a coffee farm in Mount Elgon area in Sironko district. My problem is the price of coffee, which can be unreliable and sometimes low, especially with the middlemen.
Well, Ugandan coffee farmers, I'm aware, are grappling with low farm gate prices, and this does not enhance their profitability. It would be good to focus on post-harvest processes to get this well. So implementing good post-harvest practices such as meticulous sorting, proper drying, and careful storage. This significantly improves the quality of the beans. By ensuring uniform ripeness, removing defective beans, farmers can certainly produce high-quality beans, commanding better prices on the market. Additionally, investing in facilities for controlled drying, such as the solar dryers, which are now available in the country, helps prevent mold growth and preserves the beans' flavor and profile, which customers in the rest of the world enjoy. Furthermore, adding value to coffee beans through processing methods like roasting, packaging, these can open opportunities for premium prices and access to these very niche markets in the world, and that obviously increases farmers' incomes and strengthens the coffee industry in Uganda.
Harvest a billion, billion.
Well, that's it for today's show. Thank you very much for listening, as always. Thank you, Uganda, and see you next time. I'm Odrek Rwabuogo, and this was Farmer Odrek Talks Trade.
Harvest a billion, harvest a billion.